that's not gonna work. It's cute, but chill. Let's do for chill, shall we? I think this might work. Yeah. I remember this song. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hopefully you could hear me correctly. Let's see if make this correct. Just here for an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead. Ooh, okay. All right, I think everything is good for now. All right. There it is. Like this a little bit. Make sure this is nice and bright. All right. We shall see if anyone comes in, but if not, I have work to do. There we go. See if I could get this to zoom in a little bit. I have this one page. Mm. Ooh. Let's see. To be honest, I didn't expect this to be an ASMR, but I just like jump right into it. So it's an ASMR type. Is it? No, because it's music. Oh. Ugh. This song is too loud. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ooh. No. This end up being. Ugh. Good evening, good evening. I know my streams are sporadic. I just try to get to them when I can, but I'm trying to be regular, so though next time it'll be earlier on a Wednesday, but next Wednesday, as long as I don't feel, not too bad, I'll go on into the next one. And to be honest, sometimes it's okay to just accept that you could do a couple of hours a week, but at least you get through it, So. We've been going for about 20 minutes, so I'm here for another 45 minutes. Get this. I'm probably gonna get the main inks of the pen down, and then I'll start going in with adding in more accent inks and stuff like that. So. All in all, I hope you guys, or even those in the replay, will enjoy just this simple, cozy stream. If there's a topic you'd like me to chat about, feel free to let me know and I can talk, or I'll just keep on scratching and inking. Well, then if you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and keep on inking. Something I don't do is add speed focus lines when I ink, because it never looks as good as me just adding it on with the computer. So I'm probably going to keep that with the computer. This one is a 124. Ugh. Ugh. Uh, I honestly, in the last 2 days, everyone exploded on my feed talking about Kara. I did make an account today. It's under the same name, Cetriya. I have no idea how to use the interface. I was gonna go ahead and just re-upload some of my previous images, and stuff like that, but it I haven't I didn't really I had other stuff to do, so I haven't really gotten the chance to really look through it. For me, it's just another place for me to post. Um, I'm not going to, the same way we did not assume that Instagram was going to be the way it is or Facebook was going to be the way it is and become Meta and whatever, is the same way where for now, yes, Kara is done by, I believe, a um, well-intentioned photographer, and it could be something, but um, actually it could really be something because ironically, the same way technology is making it difficult is the same way that it's going to make it easier for us to go independent in a lot of these things, but we shall see. I do have an account. I'll link to it one day once I figure out how to actually post other than like Twitter style feeds or something. I'm trying to figure out how to add to my portfolio. But right now I'm just what have I been doing today? Today I've been just doing, yeah, today I've just been doing a lot of photo editing for my online shop. Not the one that I have linked here because this is my comic shop, but the shop that I'm working for my art and gifts. And it's just so much to keep up with some of these things, you know. It's a lot. But yeah, I will try it. But if it's the reason that people are upset about the way Instagram is, I'm not going to assume that Kara won't become that way one day. You never know. It just takes one partner in the group to mess with you and stuff. But maybe not. There's a lot of privately owned businesses that still exist and doing really well. I think now that people know how to navigate these things. So I say whatever. I think what's her name? I forgot her name, but she's the animator, the ex an well, she's not an ex animator, but she no longer works in animation. She was laid off with everybody else, who does succubishes or something. She's she's relatively well known. She mentioned how that she could see it only being for artists. It's the same thing with I forgot that website where that hosts a lot of like what you call it, concept art. I want to say Artcast. I don't know. I don't remember. But there is an online portfolio that's um, supposed to be a much more elevated version of DeviantArt, and I don't go there. Yes, ArtStation. Thank you. I don't go there. Only because for the most part, um, I'm not in particular to a lot of the art there, but in general, like if me as an artist who knows about the website doesn't go there, I don't think. But then again, it is mentioned that illustrators are pretty much a small number, to which that's a whole nother creepy factor. Like I don't understand why they want to train their AI on majority people's photos. That's creepy. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if I watched like old sci-fis or what. But for ever since the internet started, because I'm an old millennial, I wasn't really too big on posting photos of myself online. As you can see, like I don't, you know, I know people say it's for relatability, but I just until I make enough money where I can hire a security team, you guys will rarely see my face. So that's how I see it. But yeah, and then again, I don't know the user interface, but hopefully I can get in and figure it out because I actually hate dark mode. I really don't like black screen interfaces. They bother me, and I don't know I don't know why the obsession to default that way. Like I'm not a gamer, and I'm sure there's gamers who doesn't like the dark or night theme. I don't know. I just kind of like, eh, I'm gonna have to figure this out, you know. And I'm not a TikTok user all that much. So getting used to the new style user interface has been a thing for me. But I will be on there. It's a new thing. We shall see if I post on there. We shall see. I mean, are you that concerned about what Instagram's doing? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay. I think some of this is requires like special effects, but I won't. I don't think I'm gonna do special effects on this. Mm. Yeah, I don't think like regular users are gonna be that bothered. Uh, There's also another art YouTuber that records. It's a gentleman that records a lot of reviews of like tablets and stuff specifically for artists, and he uh, mentioned about how people seem, dead set on stealing our art. And honestly, yeah, when it comes to negative stuff, like people can be dead set on doing the negative. I don't know. It's not for me, but yeah, I'll still be drawing. I might even use a tool. Oh, it actually, so I do draw for a living and not comics. But saw a meeting invite for an like an AI tool overview for my art director manager, and it was funny because our coworkers kind of like messaged to each other on the chat, and we were like, and now it begins, and others was like, well, I guess I better pack my bags or something. So it's gonna be used simply because I've dabbled in trying to using some of the AI tools, and my goodness, if it does not exist, I don't care what they say. If it does not exist, it's not AI anyways. It's what they call it, large language model. I don't know, whatever. Point is, it's a huge giant database. If it does not exist and I get a really unique request for some kind of art for work, there's no amount of me prompting with text or whatever is going to ever get it to come close to something good. So I'm just sitting there, just kind of like, and I know people are like, well, this is the worst it'll be. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem is it can make things look shinier and more polished, but ask it to really do something different. or to actually do your exact vision, it can't do that, you know? So, I, and then there's other things that just haven't been in the data. Like, there's a lot of like artwork, like whether it's traditional artwork, not traditional tools, but like tribe artwork, indigenous artwork, ethnic artwork, cultural artwork. It really, those things have not been put, you know, onto the internet as much, so there's no way for it to get that data. So if you were to ask it to, you know, do something in the style of Greco wall painting pottery, it doesn't really do it really well. So I don't know, maybe we'll go back to doing like caveman drawings or something. I really should not put the speed lines on here, but I'm gonna make this a smaller pen. Hmm. Huh. I wonder what I was thinking about this angle. I penciled this page a while back and it's kind of forgot my intent. Tradition on paper, some for the first time. I'm excited about that. Honestly, that was like, as soon as I saw AI, that was the first thing I went. I was like, well, I'm gonna go right back to the traditional. But I've been going kind of traditional in a bit for a while now. Only because I never was fully like 100% digital. There was something about the glossy look that whenever I did it, it looked very uncanny valley for me. And then um I think after you're in the office looking at the computer for 9 plus hours and then you come back home and then you look at the computer for another hour or so, you know, you're doing errands, maybe checking your bank account, um, trying to finagle how you're gonna pay your bills or stuff, checking emails, things like that. You just kind of want to step away. Um, Also, there's a bit of like I don't know how to explain it, but there's like no, it's called muscle memory. It's a type of muscle memory that you get, and I know you can do it with digital, but my problem with digital was my problem with traditional a while back, and that was it was hard to find materials. But I think right now the materials and the companies are pretty stable. It's been the programs that's been getting on my nerves because especially now with the push with AI, if you've opened up pretty much any program, Instagram just had its AI chat feature. My banks are trying to do AI, whatever. Adobe's been changing their program every 6 months to justify the ridiculously expensive fee or whatever. But yeah, it's just been like that for a while. that now I think is just much more comfortable, like with just good old pen and paper, pencil. You just won't have the problem that we are having right now when it comes to digital. And also, you can tell that it was done by a person because it's in real life. Now, there are machines that will replicate a painting or whatever, like it'll actually sit and like on paper. Um, but I feel like the intent of people using AI just to make image creation just don't care. I don't think they care for that kind of stuff that much. It's just not in their mind for that. So I personally have just been enjoying. I've gotten into painting also. Like I was such like anti-painting during college, during art school, but now I'm like, no, I want to go back to my pens and I want to go back to learning what kind of brushes does what. I even want to know how to sew. I'm making things by like products by hand. I don't know. I've just mentally just kind of like I'm not even like doing some kind of advocacy or being anti anything. I just kind of want something different than the same thing over and over again. Super slick and super mass produced, and you see the same thing over and over again. I just like my little natural rustic thing, which is funny because when I do anything at home, whether it's artwork or anything, and I make a mistake, I'm like, it's okay. Like that's human. Like now I'm just like, I don't want perfection on anything. I want safety. So if something is safe, and there's some things I want done well, like I just had like a shoddy job from a contractor building me a shed. That's a whole nother thing. But things like that. But I want, if I'm doing things like plumbing, I want it to look good. But other than that, I'm just like seeing naturalness. I'm even like seeing naturalness in people. People's faces, people's hands, their clothes. Just I don't know. I'm over the gloss. I'm over the gloss. That's what it is. I'm over the gloss. I'm over the gloss. I'm over the high production. I'm over the sleek thing. YouTube video editing has gotten on my nerve. Oh, I think I just kind of went into like a little bit of a rant right there. Yeah, that's true. With digital, the only thing was the fact that it was on the computer, but I was using the tablet and just, not using the straight edge tool or the line tool or the ruler tool anyways. So then I'm just like, how about I not feel the hot burning sensation of a tablet under my hand and just go for it kind of thing. So that's that's what it is. I finished drinking my wine and I want more. But let's see, I got 25 minutes. Let's see. Let me go ahead and finish out this 25 minutes. On a side note that has nothing to do with art, um, I am a daughter of Haitian parents, and I really been bitten by the bug to decide to want to eventually go and visit. And funny enough, there's like this really popular travel YouTuber. Her name is African Tigress. If you look her up, you'll see some really beautiful vistas about Haiti. And funny enough, YouTube is like heavy demonetizing her. And you should see the comments are just like, why, whenever it's something positive about the country, everybody wants it to be demonetized. We are not going to get into that, but I will say that I've been bitten by the bug to go, and it's really nice to see her videos. But the thing is, I've seen them, but they actually, let me go ahead and find her video, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. She does like to dress flirtatious. You know how some of them travel vloggers be. They're like they gotta do their hot girl summer all the time or something. You know. You know. But she's been in Haiti. She was supposed to be there for like 7 days, and now she's been going over a month, and she's put like, let's see, 8, 12, 12, 16, 20, 20, over 20 videos. Because I think people are just like, are shocked about it. There you go. I added onto it. Um, I planning to go in August, and eventually maybe I could scrounge up a penny or two to buy me some land, but land apparently is really expensive. So I'm trying to find someone that be agreeable to just, because you could do that here in America too. Like, you find someone and then you let them know that, hey, my dream was for this, that, and the other. Is it any way you could like sell it to me for this price? And if they really believe in you and they can see that you're not going to just sit there and turn it into an Airbnb, then, they just might do that, just make it an easy transaction, get it off their plate, but at the same time, they pick you. So that is my hope when I go there, is that I can find someone, especially in the South. I have no interest in the capital or the North. Everybody's going to the North. If you've never been to Haiti and you just want to take a quick ride to the North, go to the North. Apparently, there's actual tours in English for that. But that's not my thing. I want the South. The South looks beautiful and tropical, and I just envision me having a little paint studio, just a painting and drawing studio, and then like I'll run a little side business making like natural soaps and lotions and stuff like that, because I believe they import a lot of stuff, even though um, to make like soaps and stuff is, once you get used to it, like you practice well enough, it should be pretty good. So um, who knows? I might, run a little fin petit commerce. Give you some Haitian Creole right there. So right now, jumping back into this, I am adding in more accent blacks because you can see it's pretty thin. Um, so I'm going in and adding in more accent blacks. You may have seen that on Bakuman, which I should probably go back and watch that anime. I don't know. There's parts. How should I say this? There's parts about cultures, including my own, that you just kind of don't want to hear. It's like the dark side of everything, and like I think I stopped reading the manga when they started talking about idol culture, and I was like, no, thank you. I already know enough to know that I don't want to know anymore. Try and say that 7 times fast, you know? So I just kind of was like, no, I'm okay. Um, but apparently they talk more about it, so hopefully. But I'm sure it's drastically changed now that everybody just posts things online. So I know my streams are so random. You came in just within like, what is it, 15, 20 minutes, try to make sure I get it in but not overwhelm myself. But um since I now have my obligations on Tuesdays, I won't be having streams on Tuesdays. I will have them on Wednesdays. Let me know in the chat if it's okay to try to have the streams a little bit earlier on Wednesdays, like maybe as early as 4:30, or do you guys really prefer, I mean, since you happen to be on YouTube, I guess you would be preferring. I don't know. I'll try different times on Wednesdays, but I'm trying to do Wednesdays. That's it. So, keep tabs on the community tab when I post it, and you'll know um, when I'm actually streaming. Because YouTube be funny, yo. YouTube be funny. If you're not Mr. Beast or not talking about how to make money times 10 or 10x, whatever, um, you good luck getting onto the algorithm, or like replying to some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of controversy or whatever. It's like, man, I just want to draw, yo. Did I ever finish Bakuman? No. I told you I stopped right when the girlfriend or whatever her name started going into idol culture, and it was the writer of Bakuman, I forgot his name, but he has a bit of a. I don't want to read into it, but since it shows up in more of his story, in more than one story, he has a bit of a detachment. This I don't want to project so much, but he has a bit of a detachment when it comes to his female characters in a way that it saddens me because I'm sure that is where a lot probably sees them see it's the same perspective that many may share in that type of niche, and I'm not angered by it. I just kind of don't see the reason for me to keep reading something that makes me displeased. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's you. I let it be, I just, so that's, so no, I never finished it. What other manga have you guys, actually, that's a good question if any of you are interested in answering, but what manga that is very popular that you didn't finish reading, or you stop reading and then you just jump to the end? And it might show your age or my age a little bit. Like, or you could answer what manga is or anime or whatever is currently popular that you just don't jive with. Because I can tell you, let's see, Bleach was one that I stopped reading and jumped to the end. Um, Naruto, I stopped at around chapter 150. Inuyasha, I stopped and read towards the end. I think I stopped probably around the time when whatchamacallit, Kikyo was starting to be kind of a villainess. Um, and then any of the new stuff that's coming out, pretty much, it wasn't until maybe a few weeks ago I realized that Demon Slayer and what's that other series called? The other popular one was not the same show. I thought they were the same show, and it was one was the English name and the other one was the non-English name. I forgot. But yeah. And those are all shonen stuff, right? I don't think I've watched much girl stuff in a bit. I'm more of an action adventure type of person, so I'm not really keen on to like. No, I take that back. I read a lot of reincarnated into the story as the villainous character, or I became a villainous webtoon characters. I do watch a lot of those, or read a lot of those. So I don't know if you guys can actually tell that I'm thickening the lines here, or is it looking like I'm just pretending to do something? Yeah, but FMA was a good classic. Triple Six is maybe, I'm not sure. I might be getting that confused with either Devilman or something like that. I feel like I heard of the title. I have to. I see. Are any of us reading or watching anything like new? I did say I read the villainous stuff. Okay, I'm glad. Hopefully you're getting this of value, but to be honest, I'm just going how I feel. I used to put so much pressure on myself on following a style and whatnot, and you know what that ended up with? That ended up with years of me just not doing nothing. So honestly, just go for it. Who cares anymore? So long as the story is interesting to you and get yourself done, that's it. And it's readable, like you can tell what's going on. That's about it, honestly. So Mm. Let's see. Okay. I'm also trying to balance out the page here on where you see black and where you don't. I'm gonna go ahead and give an outline for this one. Oh, this is the thickest pen. Other than my trip to Haiti, I'm thinking I might do another trip to Japan. It's one of those things where, like, the first trip was actually a pretty long trip. I think it was 12 or 14 days. It's just that I was too tired come day 8 to even do anything. Like, we got up and did stuff, but we both had some serious damaged feet. Like, I had calluses, and my brother's been limping for quite a bit. So I want to hope to go there again, maybe next year, but like with more breaks in between. And then just now that we've kind of hopped throughout the country, like we took local flights and like the Shinkansen and everything else, and a lot of walking. That's and taxis. That now it's like okay, we blitzed the country. We didn't go to the south, but now I know that like when I go, how I want to actually enjoy or travel the country. Um, So now that I know, it's like, oh, I really want to go back now. Now I know what to do. There's nothing on the internet that really prepares you other than maybe just general politeness, I guess. But after that, and I think a lot of the impression that people have of Japan is based on the cities. And since we didn't go to the city, we got different kind of impression. Like a lot more people not a lot of people. I'm not trying to make up that, but I was just saying like a lot more people spoke some form of English than I had expected. And quite a few people wanted to come up and be like, "Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Japan," that kind of thing. So, I was like, "Huh." Whereas I think for like 2 hours that we were in the city, we felt what people were saying like, "Oh, oh, there's there's the type of Japan that people talk about." But then it'd be like trying to say America is like the New York or something. Yeah, it's like saying America's New York or California. And they basically say like that's Kyoto and Osaka. Okay. So I'm about to go ahead and finish out some of her spots for her hair. Oh, last question before I go. If because I've been thinking of putting a few. I'm not into making videos right now in for the channel. I'm just wanting to actually produce projects. But from time to time I'm thinking, oh, I should actually include like a video or two of tips or whatever. And I think I've done stuff for hair and I've done stuff for to an extent inking, coloring gold. Like I want to do unique, not unique, but those little tutorials that you keep trying to look for it and you can't find it. So that's kind of what I try to post. Things like picking paper for your marker. I didn't know that people really didn't post that even though there's so many like how to color with markers tutorials. I don't know. But yeah, if there's something in particular that you've seen me do and you were like, I can't really find a tutorial on this or a tutorial that makes sense to me, let me know. I'm not the best at teaching it, but I don't mind sharing it in a little mini video. Yeah, inner city people. We were so out in the woods that it was so woods, like the whole air smelled like that beautiful cedar. And the funny thing is like it is Japan, but you know how we are very like globalized. I can see all the swirling highways because that we got to a point where there is no public transportation. Maybe once in a while, like one time an hour, a bus pass by, and everyone's in their cars. The walkway is tiny, so it was giving really suburban. And of course, everyone with their big little mansion houses, their individual houses. Um, the difference is that there was like wherever they could garden food or rice paddies was everywhere. So it was country, but it was like whatever. It's like there's people here though. There was plenty of people here. Oh, I don't think I shared what it was. I'll share it here just for the live stream. But the city that I'm talking about that I liked was called Gotemba. Sounds like a mystical African nation in a fantasy story, but it's called Gotemba. Gotemba, Gotemba. And that's the driving route up to Mount Fuji. So we walked that whole route up to a certain point. Up to I think a park called Sakura Park. So we were able to take, pictures of Sakura, and there was nobody. Nobody's there. Like there ain't nobody there because this is country, like this is country suburb. There's nobody there. Um there was barely anybody at the train station. Like we literally just like I said, you know what, let's take this one because the train was going through several mountain ways before it gets there, and I figured, oh, I want to see pretty scenery while we're in the train. And when we got there, nobody's there. So it's beautiful, and I'll share it with you guys. Who knows, maybe one day you'll go to Japan, but you do need to do that is a driving route. So unless he plans to walk for 2 hours straight, but it's still pretty, still nice. Just saying, you could probably look it up on Google Maps to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was funny because some people were like, "Huh, there's people walking out here," and then people just walking in like those cheap $1 flip flops. That's how it was. But it was pretty. It's a nice looking little town. Yep, that's how you spell it. I also like you know how they have the manholes on the ground and then they're different. We were not able to get a real picture of that, but I looked it up. But if you look it up, it's a very beautiful. It lets you know that it's a sakura place and things. So I'm like, okay, we gotta visit that area next time. Ah, there goes. There it is. See, it's time for me to go to bed. It's time for me to be that girl night routine. You know, get your hair done, get your skincare done, pack your lunches and all that good stuff. You need to go to the DMV and do get an international license. I didn't do it though, but I did look into it, and it's $20. And I'm kind of glad only because when they say they drive on the opposite end, they really did. Like whenever I was crossing streets and stuff, I just kept on feeling like the cars were gonna hit each other. So to be honest, I probably would just try to figure out how to use the DD app if they're okay with it. I have to see if it's international or at least if it has an option where it says English okay. Like I don't need you to speak to me in English. I just don't want you to feel burdened because you can clearly tell I am not Japanese. You know what I mean? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. You're already doing your work and stuff like that. So yeah, now that I think about it, like I probably have to look it up, but I don't think most people really talk about that's the problem. Everybody's all in Tokyo area that there's very few of them that talks about because there's still some transportation out in the country, but the I'm sure there's somebody out there that talks about using like a taxi or a tap tap or something. Cause I think tap tap, sorry, that's Haitian. But like, does anybody talk about like taxi go or stuff like that? Cause that's different from regular taxi. It's basically their version of Uber. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I mean it's not anybody's requirement, you know, if you're coming into the country and you're enjoying it and you just happen to make photos, like there's no reason for, you know, for you're not obligated to give you a whole rundown of how to function in Japan. Like but at the same time I'm like, you know, it'd be nice if people had like more unique content. Like I don't need to be told the best spots for sushi, which is fine because people like food blogs and stuff like that. It's just now that I think about it, I'm like, this actually was a number of things that I wish um, people talked about, especially when it comes to medicine. You know. Oh, thank you. You come. I think you're coming in at the last minute. I think the last few minutes. So be sure to follow and get notification. I'm supposed to be here every Wednesday, but that has not been working out. It's just it seems to be every other Wednesday, so I'll post. What else? What other thing? Oh, last thing is I have a little poll on the community tab. So if you go on my channel, like you go channel and then you click community, there's a poll about how you guys feel about me posting coloring pages or pages that you guys can color. Um, and if you want it just in digital or do you want me to have a book version of it? Most of it's gonna be for free actually, or by donation. Like you just donate whatever you feel like, so you could still stay zero. It's not something I'm seeing to be like big money maker or anything like that. But if it is printed, that's different. So in a way, it costs me to print, so that would be costing. But if it's for just like simple digital stuff, you want to practice some coloring, you know, especially if you print it out on cardstock and then color, that'd be, oh, I could do that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. That's a cool little thing just to break off from this, but very off topic. But have you heard of strawberry shortcake before? I have made some redesigns for the. Oh, you mean the cartoon and the puzzles, like IP from back in the 80s? I've seen it. It was not my thing. I think I was more onto like besides Barbie, there was something else that I think I was more into my childhood, but I can't recall. But yes, I've heard of it. And you know this whole nostalgia. I don't know what your age, and you don't need to tell me on the chat, but I feel like there's like a strong nostalgia wave. What is it? Oh, it reminded me. So I've been watching some things because I'm thinking of trying to see if I could like do a little bit of a pop up shop at malls and stuff like that. And I just wanted to double check. And malls are coming back as a thing because people just really want that kind of connection. Um, if anything, Gen Z really shows that digital isn't everything. Yes, they're online, but they always like, okay, let's go out, you know, brunch and shop. And for those of them who got enough money, they said, I'm not waiting until I'm 30 to buy me a house. They're like, we're gonna go figure out something, they're going back to being more and more human. I've talked to a few, not all, but even they're like, yeah, I want to start a family. Like me as an old millennial, the constant talking of I want to start a family, I want to start a family that young was not like as big. Um, so now I'm like seeing, the Y2K style, the 90s style coming back. And I think it really just shows that one, these companies that produce stuff refuse to put out innovation. Like they don't like new stuff. They really don't like to make, they really just don't want to try to make new stuff. And then they don't want to do human stuff. They keep on wanting to automate everything all the time and streamline it. And like, how many replicas of Hunger Games are we gonna have? That was back then. How many replicas of what you call it? I didn't watch this series, Game of Thrones. Like, oh my god! Whenever a show gets real popular, what's the other show? That show, that very Gen Z show off of Netflix. I don't know. Point is like whenever something comes out, everybody's like replicating it instead of just like, yo, you could just make a decent script that has maybe a couple of fan service in there, a couple of tropes, some guilty pleasures that people like. Like, I love me a good villainous, isekai story. It's just a subgenre, but after that, it's like I don't need I don't need like I just don't need it to be such a replica of another series that it's so obvious. It defeats the purpose because it's I don't know. It's like eating boiled spaghetti with salt, and that's it every day, every single day. And then they add a little bit of tomato, and then they add a little bit of cheese, and it's good. It's good, but it's like you're just eating that every single day, and the only time they introduce a new ingredient is like every 6 months, or not even a year or two. I always go back to food, guys. I like food. Yeah, it's not everyone, but I've just noticed that the topic comes up a lot more than it did during my generation. And we're just kind of like surprised about it. That's all. And if you look at the statistics and the numbers in surveys, which, surveys are limited anyways, but you know what I mean. So it's just been funny that it's been like that. And it's funny because I work in retail and like hearing the marketing team trying to figure out how to attract Gen Z when Gen Z is like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I don't feel like doing this. Nah, I'm gonna do that. It's just so funny. It's like maybe if you guys just made something cool or fun or just enjoyable and then let the right people know, you wouldn't have this problem. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of adult version of Powerpuff Girls out here. Speaking of, I need to figure out where I could watch like the Girls anime version. And then what was it? The old like was it not old but early like late 90s? No, I think early 2000s like um Nickelodeon shows, especially when it was targeted to middle schoolers, had so much life lessons that now we're just like, I can't believe these people put this in a cartoon. And I watched it back then and I had no idea that this is what was going on. And these are just some good life lessons. And you're just kind of like, man, times back when you were innocent and you didn't realize that they were trying to warn you about adulting. Mm. 94.9. I mean, I'm relative. Like I just basically kind of talk to you and I know what your age are and then I put you in a category kind of thing. Cuz there's people with like old souls and stuff like that, but then there's just people where you're just like, yeah, you're about this you're about here with life experiences and stuff like that. It's kind of like kids or something, like their offsprings. Man, this is making me remember. I don't know. Is anybody here? Ever used to read fanfiction.net? Which, yo, when when the new version of Inuyasha, which is their kids now, came out, I was sitting there, I was like, for some reason, I was like, I don't know about this. I had no problem with the art, what the direction that the story went with. I just find it funny that it's kind of like, why do I feel like I seen an actual fan fiction became an anime, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like no, we're supposed to keep to our little janky stories. Like I don't actually want to see it become true, you know? Yeah, I don't even know what relatable. How are they gonna relate? If you're in your 50s and your 40s and your 60s, like just make something human and maybe it'll relate. But after that, it's like, what are you? Why are you trying to relate to a 20 year old? Like, why? Like, leave them alone. Or if you really need something from a for a 20 year old to relate to, hire a 20-year old. They're legal adults. You could give them a job. They could help you. They can be your consultant. You know like I've gotten this question too sometimes. Like when people come up and be like at work or whatever, like, so what do you think, is hot, young, and fresh or whatever? And I'm just like, I don't know. Ask them. They'll tell you. We have how many something year olds in this company? Go ask them. And then when you do it, somebody in their 50s and 60s are going to be like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get, what does that mean? Like, I don't get. I'm like, do you need to get it? You don't need to get it. My job is to present really good stuff. The other person's job is to present research. Your job is to trust us and just accept the order. like what is the point of having other people who, like, I don't want to lose my job too if the company don't make money. I would not give you anything. Why? Like, just, and it's fine. Make a smaller order. Do something. Do testing. But then you just go back and be like, well, this sold pretty okay like a year ago. Let's just redo that. Okay. And then you're wondering why the average customer is like in their 50s and 60s and not even the cool ones. Some of them silver heads are like, I'm too cool for that. I am an international jet setter and I like to buy things from small shops near the port in some kind of destination. I don't know, something, you know, get me some cute little tchotchke at a small town museum or something. I got a little fired up about nostalgia, huh? I'm thinking I want some more black on this one, so I'm gonna add more black. I'm trying not to treat this as like a painting, by the way, because I'm just like, let me just add more strokes, and it's like, no, this is meant for storytelling. Yeah, I got a little fired up towards the end right here. I said it was the last minute, and I'm sitting here for another 10 minutes. Okay, let's figure out how to make this a little bit more readable because this right here looks like a hot mess. Okay, got it. I think it's pretty late now. Well, it's not late, but you know, when you're a working old millennial, it is late. Okay. And if you don't know what I mean by that, one day it will hit you. You will wake up one morning and realize that you don't feel as rested as you used to be. All right. This is pretty far. I am debating on this one. I'm going to leave this because I might want to add a little bit more detail, but I think I know what effect I want for this. Not too much, because if you guys have ever seen the Bleach mangas, they don't, yeah, they are what they are. They are what they are. But I don't know if I've shown you guys this little manga, but I'm gonna show it to you. I think I have. I'm gonna show it to you. Um, I'll probably do a couple of like master copies just to get used to it, but I think I'm sure I've shown it to you. Let me give me a second. I don't know if you guys know that I used to collect more art books, but I haven't as much before. Let me see if I can. Okay, you should know who this guy is, though. You probably don't, but if you don't, let me go ahead and zoom out of here for a bit. Let me. But I know scantily. But he's actually a professional inker. So even though I like manga, I don't know if he's still doing it though. But even though I like manga, I do tend to. I guess I should have done a warning. Sorry, guys. But yeah, he does do quite a bit, and I'm just liking. I know he has videos somewhere on YouTube. I'll share it once I get it next time. But I know I really do like his work, and you can tell these are all like American comics. I know some of the more famous characters, but ask me anything else, and I wouldn't know. Like I wouldn't know. But I just very much like the art of the inking kind of thing. So just sharing with you guys. But yeah, I just thought I'd share. I think I might just do that as like an end segment to the live stream. So anyhow, folks, it has been 80 minutes, y'all. It's longer than 60 minutes. So I hope you found my artwork enjoyable. If there's any last minute questions, feel free to add in the chat or add in the comments. And again, take a look at my community tab. I got some polls there. That'll also be where I'll announce any new streams. So all in all, anything else? Going once? Going twice? I've sketched everything. I am 6 pages into inking. And then I have 10 more to go. So at this rate, I did all of this today, just now in the 80 minutes. So at this current rate, if I keep going, some of the pages are more complicated. I should have the preliminary inks done in about a month or two. About 2, yeah. Right? 2, 4, 6, 7. In about a month and a half. And then from there, I'll start doing the real cleanup of inking and stuff like that, and adding the rest of the special effects, and then I'll go into toning. So, okie dokie. Good night, guys. Sleep well.